What is a khata?
One word answer would be Khata is an account.
Technically, a BBMP or a concerning body have all of these details of the properties to collect the right tax.
So if they have specifics and only on those specifics, they'll be able to charge you.
Does khata prove the ownership of the property?
If I have to put it, Supreme Court, one of its landmark judgment said
What the hell is this e-khata and b-khata?
2007 is when the Khata got introduced as a mandate.
Okay.
Earlier, everything was just a Khata. Then 2009,
Government is trying to regularize the properties by introducing b-khata.
Cabinet has approved this provision wherein b-khata properties which are non-compliant.
How to transfer khata?
Khata transfer happens basically after the...
So, in your view, what reforms do you think would make the khata system user-friendly?
The whole e-khata system itself is a welcome reform.
What is the purpose of or the mandate of Sub-registrar?
Sub-registrar is basically an entity which is created under Registration Act. So that's an act.
What are the different kinds of transactions that occur when a transfer of rights happens?
Sub-registrar office can register a range of documents. This could include...
Is there one single format of GPA or...
It is customizable to your needs.
Properties title is registered, but mutation is stuck. It's not happening. Hello all, this is Nikhil Shetty from Auction Dunia, and with us we have Mr. Akshay Kolle. He's our legal consultant and he's also an engineer turned advocate. He has his expertise in banking laws and land laws, and he has also done his master's in business law from National School Law, which is one of the prestigious universities in India. So today, the purpose of this podcast is to address all our user queries who have been asking us multiple questions with regards to land laws in Karnataka specifically. And I have Mr. Akshay Kolle answering all of these questions. Thanks for coming, Mr. Akshay.
Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here, Nikhil. Thanks for hosting me.
Thank you so much. Akshay, you can give a quick introduction of yourself and we can get started with the land laws.
Right. So I have done my master's from National Law School, Bangalore. I have a lateral entry into law. I was an engineer earlier. I worked with Amazon and then I moved into law.
Great.
I'm a second generation lawyer. So it's interesting for me to actually be here and answer all these queries.
Amazing. So glad to know that you're the second generation lawyer. That means I think right from your childhood you would have been with all these case laws and the land laws for sure.
Yeah.
Great to know that. So let's get started with the purpose of this podcast. My first question to you is, what is a khata? Because multiple of my users are confused with this word called khata.
Right. So if I have to put it very simply, one word answer would be Khata is an account. So it's an account maintained by a municipal corporation. I mean, if you're in Bangalore, BBMP would be the relevant body. It's going to have an account which is probably in the name of the landowner to collect taxes. It will identify what is the land, what is the carpet area, what is the built-up area, where is it located, what are its other features of the land for the purpose of taxation. So it's a account or a khata purely intended to collect taxes.
Understood. So technically, a BBMP or a concerning body have all of these details of the properties to collect the right tax.
Absolutely. So if they have specifics and only on those specifics, they'll be able to charge you, right? Or the taxation will depend on the specifics.
Understood. So this is a way for them to assess how much so and so has to pay in terms of taxation.
Right. Absolutely.
Fantastic. So technically, khata is an account.
Correct.
Or a tax collection account.
Yeah. If I have to put it in a very concise manner, that's how it is. Yeah.
So my next question is, a lot of my users are asking, does khata prove the ownership of the property?
No, khata does not prove the ownership of the property. If I have to put it, Supreme Court, one of its landmark judgment said tax paid receipts are not valid proof of title ownership of a land.
Understood.
And it got reiterated by High Court of Karnataka as well, wherein it said that tax receipts or khata receipts or in khata itself doesn't give you the title ownership of the land.
So technically what it proves?
So khata, having a regularized khata will help you to always have legal compliance of the land, its tax paid receipts, and also probably availing future loans on the property.
Understood.
And in the future, probably if you want to liquidate the property, sell the property, any prospective buyer would always look for the fact that have you cleared all your tax receipts. Only then he would be willing to actually buy the property. So that's one advantage of actually maintaining uh, a proper regularized khata.
Understood. So what you're trying to tell me is, one is you having the title of the property.
Right.
Second is you complying with the rules of the land.
Absolutely. So without
Okay.
paying tax regularly,
Okay.
the khata is irregularized.
Understood.
Basically, the municipal corporation or BBMP can levy penalty on you.
Understood.
So if you do not pay the tax for 1 year, there's a 15% interest that is charged on the unpaid due.
Understood.
And if you consecutively don't pay it for 2 or 3 years, they can take it up to 100% of the tax value.
Oh my God.
So that is
And
how
it will
they
keep doubling.
yeah,
going
it will keep
forward.
doubling, and further they can go ahead and actually attach your property, get an encumbrance on your property saying that BBMP has a
To recover the dues.
yes, absolutely, and they can go to the extent of actually auctioning your property. So that is the
Understood.
so that is the range of pass they have. So it's good to always have a
Comply
regular
with the rules of the
yeah,
land.
absolutely, yeah.
So now I get it. One, I am the title owner of the property. Second, I have to also comply with the rules of the land. So technically, as per the rules of the land, one has to have a kata and one has to pay regular taxes to the government as per the specifications of the property.
Right.
When one is doing this, then this is the legal holding of the property.
Correct.
And it is a liquid asset. Anybody would like to buy such a kind of property.
Absolutely, because if you do not pay your tax receipts, your
Government can come in between any day.
anytime, and you'll have the
Government
burden.
will say, I'll get you, boss. Okay, so the purchaser would never want the government to get him. So technically, he says, boss,
You clear
might
it.
be the title owner, but I don't want to buy
Yeah,
from you.
I mean, anyone who wants to liquidate his land would ideally do it in a circumstance
Understood.
where he needs liquidity.
Right.
And in that point of time, you're expected to pay penal charges.
Right.
Then it will be a hell of a burden
Right.
for
And
anyone.
multiple X of the dues.
Absolutely. So it will be multiple times the original tax. Right.
Understood. So users, you all understood the significance of paying taxes, right? If you're looking at the real estate as an asset and not just the enjoyment, I think this is one of the keywords Akshay was using in the background while we were discussing. If you just do not want to enjoy the property and also want to look at the property as an asset, then you need to be regular with your taxes.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it's not fluid. You can't sell the property because government is going to get you anytime, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. You're bang on.
Great. So I have also heard from multiple users asking me, Nikhil, what the hell is this e-khata and b-khata? E-khata, b-khata. This is one huge discussion that happens all over our platforms, asking, sir, this is either e-khata na b-khata na?
Right. 2007 is when the khata got introduced as a law, as a mandate.
Okay.
Earlier, everything was just a khata. It was not a khata, b khata.
Or there was no type of a
Type,
khata.
exactly. So then 2009, the officials found that there were a lot of irregularities when it comes to the land holding and as well as the violations of zonings, right? And the users and the landholders not being able to pay their, clear their earlier dues.
Okay.
And there are violations of multiple things, right? Construction, violation of building bylaws, violation of having setbacks in constructions. These are multiple violations that were there.
Right.
That is when the categorization happened.
Okay.
And the lands or properties which were completely legal and compliant with all the possible land laws that are there,
Right.
and even the municipal laws, were categorized as e-khata.
Okay.
Whereas lands which were non-compliant
Right.
were categorized as b-khata.
Understood.
Right. So this is the basic difference that is there between e-khata and a b-khata. So
And I have also heard that for a B Khata property, government says that I'll not give you any sort of utility services. Is that true?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I see all of them having electricity connections and
They
water
could have had,
connections.
because the whole land laws or the whole Khata system came only in 2007 and 2009.
Understood.
By that time, if there was a Khata registration completed, they would have got the immunities. But as a matter of fact, if you want to get a new Khata now, that is a property which is created as a residential property by creation of layouts,
Okay.
it has to be compliant.
It has to be compliant.
Otherwise, you will not get any of these amenities, utilities, connections. Right? The government will
As per
straight
the
away.
new ruling.
Yes, as per the new ruling. So they will straight away refuse to actually provide you all of these amenities.
What I'm trying to ask you is, Akshay, so government is trying to regularize the properties by introducing e-khata.
Right. Government has, this is the first cabinet has approved this provision wherein e-khata properties which are non-compliant will get an opportunity to become e-khata properties, whereby they have to clear their previous dues and get the compliances for the non-compliant issues. They could have issues with non-compliance with the setback, not having particular approvals, violation of building bylaws.
Okay.
All of them being corrected and a compliance being done. That is the new approval scheme that has been brought by government of Karnataka.
Understood. Wherein they're trying to regularize the non-compliant ones and turning the e-khata into e-khata versions.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So as long as they were in e-khata, they were still non-compliant.
Right.
Right? They were still illiquid.
Correct.
So still, it was very difficult to get loans on those properties.
Absolutely. The banks would refuse to give loans. Ideally, all the nationalized banks and other banks would ideally not take up these properties as collateral to give any kind of loans.
Understood.
Education loan, home loans, you name it.
Understood.
Right.
I think it's a fantastic opportunity for the people of Karnataka, wherein the government is helping them regularize their e-khata properties, turn them into e-khata, which immediately makes the property liquid. So selling becomes easier, getting loans on those properties becomes easier.
Right.
So we will also give you a very clear guidelines as to what is eligible and what is not eligible in our next set of podcasts or next set of information via blog. So my next question to you, Akshay, is a lot of users ask me, what is mutation?
Right. So again, mutation as a literal meaning is basically change.
Right.
Right.
Change of what?
Right. So change of ownership of properties.
Understood.
That is utilized in the revenue entries, that a property has changed from one person to the other person. Such entries are denoted as mutation entries.
Understood. So whenever transfer of rights of property happens,
correct,
the process of change, the terminology is called mutation.
And any sale deeds that give you the title ownership, right, where there is a transfer of property, those sale deeds are recorded with a specific mutation number in your record of rights. That will denote that the property has probably moved from Nikhil to Akshay. Right.
Understood. Yeah. So Akshay, how to transfer khata?
Right. So khata transfer happens basically after the sale of the property. Primary requirement is the registered sale deed from whom you have got the property. That is the primary requirement. Then you should have a transfer application from the municipal corporation. It could be BBMP or any other municipal corporation. Then you'll have to back it up with previous khata certificate of the previous owner. That is required.
From whoever I'm purchasing the property.
Yes. Right. Then you have to also back it up with previous tax paid receipts.
Understood.
And along with that, there is a formal processing fee that is required. These are the only few requirements that are there for
that would help transfer of khata in my name if I have purchased a property.
Correct.
What if I don't transfer the khata in my name and it remains in the previous owner's name?
If it remains in
I have the title,
right,
and I'm leased for it.
Right. If it remains in the previous owner's name, you're paying property receipts or you're paying your property tax in the previous owner's name.
I
That
still have to pay property tax. The people
absolutely,
are going to come and knock my door, or how does it work?
absolutely, they'll come to your door because you are not because you got the ownership of the property and you're still not paying it,
Okay.
right? If you're not bothered to change the khata from previous owner to you, the new owner, you would ideally not even pay those taxes, right?
Understood.
So
Okay. So
it's
people are
necessary.
going to come and knock my door.
Yeah,
Here, the context is the enjoyment of the property. I'm least bothered. I don't care. I
right,
don't have to sell the property. I'm not looking at my property as an asset.
right,
So if that is the case, I still have to pay the property
correct.
tax.
It's wise to look at it a property as an asset always. You
Understood.
might be enjoying any number of properties you have, but then you really don't know when you have to liquidate it. And
Understood.
property liquidation is not a very easy thing these days.
Right.
You should be prepared with everything.
There are too many angles to it.
Absolutely.
I mean, after getting into starting off with Auction Dunia, so we have gone so deep into all the documents
Right.
because we have been selling properties. And that too, we have two line of assessments, one from the title line and the other one from the surfacey procedure line.
Right.
So quite deep actually, and
Right.
too many angles to it.
And it's just not like that you have a property for sale and it just goes away within a month or two.
Right.
There's a lot of efforts behind actually selling the property, right? So
Understood.
this due compliance is very necessary. Without it, you'll face a lot of troubles. So it's wise to have this compliant and be clean when it comes to payment of property taxes.
Understood.
And like I had explained earlier, if you don't pay these taxes, the municipal corporation can have an encumbrance against your property. They can go ahead and seize your properties. These are
Understood.
all the, and also have penal charges. So
Which is going to accumulate over a period.
absolutely, yeah.
Understood. So users, once you purchase a property, Khata transfer in your name is extremely important, and not just paying tax. The transfer of Khata is also extremely important, and Akshay just briefed as to how to transfer and what are the documents that's involved in transferring Khata. So, and we will also write a very detailed blog with regards to the checklist that's required to transfer your Khata. Which would be published in Auction Dunia's website. So Akshay, my next question is, what is the difference between Khata transfer and Khata registration?
All right. That's a great question actually. So Khata registration is basically an account creation in the BBMP limits
Okay.
for a new property.
Understood.
Right, which doesn't have a khata or an account in place.
Understood.
So any outskirts of Bangalore, you would have new layouts coming up.
Right.
These layouts or these properties would not have their own khata.
This is for converted lands, no? Not the
Yes,
revenue
this
ones.
is for converted
Because we
lands.
see a lot of revenue lands now
Right.
being turned into layouts.
That's something which everyone should have a look out for when they're buying such kind of properties.
Yes, users, please.
So that's when you register a new khata.
Understood.
And khata transfer is basically all the registered lands wherein there is a transfer of property from one person to another. You need to also transfer your khata. That's when you'll be only able to pay taxes in your name.
Right.
Otherwise, you would be paying in previous owner's name, or you wouldn't be able to pay at all. So
understood. So technically, registration is creation of new account, and transfer is transfer of an existing account.
absolutely, that's the difference.
Khata. And my next question, which is a very, very viral question, which is, what is e-khata? There's so much hullabaloo around e-khata, e-khata, e-khata. People have gone bonkers with this e-khata.
Right. So e-khata is nothing but just a digitized version of the khata.
Okay,
so
that's it.
That's all. That's all it
Nothing
is
else.
actually. There's nothing else.
Because before it was manual, or it was
physical khata.
It was paper. It was
Right.
written on paper.
Right. The scope there was a lot of issues when it came to duplicate entries or even missing entries or even for that matter wrong assessment of tax. Right. This used to happen when these were all manual entries.
Wrong assessment will lead to people ending up paying more taxes?
Yes.
Or less
More
tax?
likely. I haven't
If
come
it's
across
less tax, I would definitely go for it.
So I haven't come across such kind of situation wherein clients have come to me where they've said, I'm paying less.
I don't
So,
want to pay more technically. Yeah.
so ideally, these are the issues when it comes to having manual khatas or physical
Okay.
khatas.
Okay. If you can refer to these entries, what are these missing entries?
Right. Basically, khatas having missing entries would mean that probably there is an incorrect name, or a khata doesn't have a name at all. Right.
Or this can be a blank khata, is it?
Yes, there could be a situation wherein such kind of entries are made, because it's a human error that is there. Could need not be an intentional one, but
Understood.
it could just be an human error, or it could be a mistake, right? Wherein these
Okay.
khata entries are
So
made.
I'm the property owner. I'm thinking I have my khata in my name,
Right.
but I'm paying tax to a ghost account.
Could be the situation. There are such kind of situations that are there,
Oh my God. Okay.
and there could be duplicate entries as well.
Wherein s- two people having same khata.
Absolutely. So yeah, I
Oh,
and you can have a same khata number. You would be paying taxes.
you are
Uh,
enjoying?
I both will be enjoying, but eventually when you're going to liquidate it,
Right.
the new buyer will go and verify
Okay.
regarding your khata, and he'll see that this khata number has two names or two different properties having same khata number. Both situations can happen.
Clear conflict.
Yeah.
Understood. Is there a resolution of all of these conflicts?
Yeah, these can be resolved.
For all these kinds of
Yes,
conflicts, this can be resolved.
right. There are procedures under the BBMP Act wherein these can be resolved actually.
Understood. Users, please look out for all of these challenges in your khata. So please keep abreast about what are the details that is mentioned in your khata, and if it's clear and consistent with your property as well as your details.
Right.
Right.
Right. And
Very important.
so the new development is basically all the A khatas that are there, or even the B khatas which can get converted into A khata,
Right.
will be eventually converted into E khata. I believe there's a huge number of accounts that are being converted into E khata at the moment.
Which is the digital transformation aspect of
Absolutely.
the government, wherein
Right.
everything is digitized.
Right. Right. And
Understood.
it's good to have that kind of a e-khata, because just not just for the government's purpose, it's also for the landowner to actually easily go and check what is the status of his khata, whether his tax paid receipts are there or not, whether his khata is clear or not, whether there is any issue of such sort, which I have mentioned earlier.
Absolutely. So, somebody with a crook mind cannot tamper with
Absolutely.
khatas.
Yeah. Right.
As you said, you cannot claim a legal ownership just by having khata in your name.
Correct.
So that is for sure. But at
Right.
least mess around.
And yeah, there are multiple reasons why people do that. So I think we'll leave it to the imagination of people why such things happen.
Understood. And one more important question I have to be addressed to all our users who are trying to purchase a plot from a land which is not converted, which is still revenue, but on a promise that this is going to come within the BBMP limit and everything will get regularized.
Right. I mean, it's wise to not go by those promises, because purely the extending of BBMP limits is something, it is purely in the domain of the BBMP. And unless you have an official order as such that a particular area is going to be included in the scope of BBMP, right?
Understood.
It would not
Would
make
you
sense.
suggest these properties?
No, I would not.
So users, please be wary of purchasing a plot which is not converted, but and it's still a revenue land because it's illegal. Technically, it's illegal or legal?
I mean, it is legal, but then the whole valuation that comes along with it is really different. You are assuming that you're going to buy a land in Bangalore, but technically it is not, right? So yeah.
Understood. So it's a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
And liquidation becomes a challenge when we look at property as an asset. So one last question I have, Akshay. So in your view, what reforms do you think would make the Khata system user friendly?
I think the whole e-khata system itself is a welcome reform. I think this should have been done earlier, but it's still welcome that this thing has been done. And
Amazing.
at the end of the day, people can just access whatever information that is there regarding their property with a
digitally sitting at their home,
right,
all by
right,
themselves.
right. That convenience should be required. Not just convenience, the transparency also kicks in, right? Tampering is not a easy proposition in these kind of scenarios.
Understood.
Right. So I wholly welcome the new proposition of e-khata.
And I think this can drastically reduce the property frauds.
Yeah, in a way, because if you're looking at buying a property, you would ideally look at multiple checkpoints,
Right.
right? And one khata is one of those checkpoints,
Right.
right? Setting the khata in order, you're actually setting the whole process in order, right? Similarly, other checkpoints can be brought in order, then you have a perfectly fine system, and you're not very anxious when you're going to buy property.
So Akshay, multiple of our users have asked us, what is mutation or the process of mutation in the context of land revenue?
Right. So mutation, the literal meaning is basically something which goes under change.
Okay.
Here, the land nature or the land ownership goes under change. That is when mutation registries come into picture.
So technically change in ownership.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's where the mutation kicks in.
Kicks in, right. And there's a revenue department who keeps this mutation registry for the purpose of finding and keeping a record when there is change of ownership. So
to collect from the
so end of the day, yes, end of the day, the intent behind these departments is to revenue collection of revenue, right?
Right.
So it has
whenever
to be in a
a
methodical
change happens, they also cause a change in their records.
Correct.
The process of causing that change is called mutation, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So technically, this is an automated process wherein the title transfer is caused by the sub-registrar, and immediately moment that title change happens, mutation happens at the land revenue department.
Right. It is an ideal situation. Things should happen in this manner, but they don't. Right. So ideally, when a sub-registrar office gets a sale deed registered, it should ideally lead to a mutation registry change. That does not happen at the moment, but we are heading towards that. Now, at the moment, the new landowner has to get this mutation registry changed, and it has to be reflected in the record of rights.
After the process of registration of the sub-registrar's place.
Correct. Yes.
Understood. So my next question is, what is the purpose of or the mandate of sub-registrar?
Right. So sub-registrar is basically an entity which is created under Registration Act. So that's an act purely meant to register properties and safekeeping of those documents for future use. So a sub-registrar office is a neutral third party office which will record a transaction between me and you regarding a property. It will hold a copy of the sale deed, right? You can lose that probably sale deed, or I could also probably lose it.
But they'll never lose it.
Yeah, it's a bounden duty upon them to have that copy of that sale deed. So at any point of time, either I can go and get a certified copy of that, or any other third party who's actually willing to buy a land in future from me, also he can go and get a copy of that. So that, yeah, so that
act as the guardians for all
yes,
the
absolutely
purchasers?
right, very aptly put. They are the guardians of these kind of documents, and this is the actual title ownership. This is the core document which will actually demonstrate who's the owner of the property, not probably a khata, not probably a tax paid receipt, but the sale deed in itself,
registered by sub-registrar.
Right.
So let's assume that I'm in a situation wherein my title is under dispute for a particular property, but registered by a particular sub-registrar.
Right.
So is he going to come to court to defend my title because he is the one who has registered the property?
Right. He need not really come to the court and defend it. He just had, I mean, any document issued by a sub-registrar, which is in original or in certified format, is a valid documentary evidence in the court of law when it is dealing with proving a title. So basically, you go to the court seeking a declaration that I am the true owner of the property. That's when these kind of documents come into picture.
So the substantiation is done by the office of sub-registrar.
Right. the document in the format of a document.
So next question, Akshay, is what are the different kinds of transactions that occur when a transfer of property happens or the transfer of title happens? I have one more word called transfer of rights happens.
Right, property rights.
Property rights.
Right. I mean, SRO, that is a sub-registrar office, can register a range of documents pertaining to land and properties. This could include a gift deed, right? This could include a registration of a will.
Okay, gift is ideal, yeah. Somebody gifting me.
I would also expect someone gifting me a portion of land. So yeah, out of love and devotion, people tend to gift properties among themselves. Again, that gifting of a property is not under coercion or a threat. That is ensured when you go to a sub-registrar office and get that gift deed registered.
Oh, this is also a possibility, wherein I am being coerced to gift my property to someone else.
Absolutely. Someone can come and threaten you to actually transfer your properties to me for n number of reasons. Right? So that is when you go to a neutral third party government office, wherein this particular transfer of property happens through registration of the gift deed. Right? So that's one way. You can also have registration of a general power of attorney. So that is basically, let's assume I have n number of properties, say 10, 15 properties I have. I don't find the time to actually go ahead with prospective buyers and talk to them, have a discussion with them, and then actually go ahead and register it at the SRO office. So the amount of time I have doesn't allow me to be at multiple places, right? That's when a GPA comes into picture. Therein I can assign an agent or a person saying, I vest you with the rights of my property, my specific property, to sell it, to register it, and do anything needful pertaining to that particular property. Right? So such a document.
Transfer of title is valid in that case.
Yes. I need not particularly sign that sale deed. My agent can do it only if he has a registered GPA. So this registration also happens in an SRO office.
For registration of GPA, you have to be present.
Right, that I have to be present. That I have to be present. But further on, any kind of sale transaction or any kind of documentation that needs to be done with respect to that particular property for a particular tenure can be done by my agent based on that GPA.
Fantastic. And Akshay, you mentioned GPA. I mean, there's one hell of confusion with regards to GPA. Is there one single format of GPA, or is it customizable to your needs?
Yeah, it is customizable to your needs. Right. There is also a misconception that once GPA is given, it cannot be withdrawn. Right. Such kind of misconceptions are there. Not the case. Earlier, we used to have something called as an irrevocable GPA, but it's not there.
Once issued, you can never cancel it.
Right. So that was the
crazy, man.
Yeah. So now no such thing exists. A GPA can be issued for a particular period of time. It could be issued for 6 months. It could be issued for a year. It could be issued for a specific property. Right. It could be issued for buying a property. It could be issued for selling a property.
Understood. It can be absolutely customized for my need.
Right.
Which is the in terms of granting the power of attorney to someone else.
Correct.
So I have full hold and control.
Yes.
Of the GPA that I am trying to issue.
Yes. The only thing you need to be careful about is whom are you issuing this GPA. That's the only thing.
Or if he backfires, then I'm in trouble.
Right. That is the whole responsibility of yours while you are issuing the GPA.
What are the other ways of other kinds of transactions?
So other kinds of transactions, like I mentioned, gift deed, will, transfer of properties
via sale,
right? You can have lease deeds, you can have rental agreements, you can have any agreement for that matter. Any business transaction also can be via an agreement, but further registered in a sub-registrar's office. Right? If I have to go a bit deeper into it,
inheritance partition.
Yes, absolutely. Inheritance partition is also a major part of it.
Grant from the government.
Right, grant from the government as well. Right.
Understood.
So any kind of partition, family partition. So there are two types, right? Family partition would be unregistered as well as registered. So registered partition has much more significance when it comes to future land
Liquidation
holdings,
value.
right?
Okay.
Liquidation value also, and regarding your land holdings also,
Understood.
right? Somebody tomorrow, some family member cannot come and say that no, I have not signed in on this document. If it's
When
an
it's
unregistered,
registered.
right? Unregistered. If it's an unregistered family partition, tomorrow somebody cannot just come and say. Then it will lead to a dispute, and that dispute will have to go through a trial.
Right.
Trial means a prolonged process.
Right.
To avoid all of that, you can have a family.
Better to register.
Right, better to register. People avoid it or sometimes don't go for it because they think they have to pay some stamp duty.
Right.
Yeah,
This is
right.
the major concern actually.
Correct.
Paying stamp duty is the major concern.
Right.
Technically.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
So Akshay, I have seen in a couple of scenarios where property's title is registered, right, via sale, but mutation is stuck. It's not happening.
Right. So even if there is a sale of a property, mutation registries do not find a change. That could be because of multiple reasons. Either you have incomplete documentation, or there is a litigation that is pending, or a litigation that comes up at the time when you go for this mutation change. So there is a window wherein somebody can come and object that you do not get this mutation done because I have a dispute, right? So it generally comes up when family properties are there. Some family member could be left out. He or she might not be given a part of that property or a due consideration for that transfer of property. And he or she can come tomorrow and say, do not register this mutation because I have a stake in this and my stake is not considered while selling this property.
Understood.
Right.
So technically you're saying while buying a property, due diligence is on the buyer and not on the sub-registrar.
Right.
Okay.
That is true.
Is that true?
Yes, yes, that is.
So sub-registrar will register.
Right. His job is probably to just be a neutral third party, be at that space and register the documents as per the procedure. However, the checkpoints before buying the property has to be done by the buyer himself.
Okay.
He is not going to sit and evaluate whether that property is good enough to be bought or not.
Okay.
That's not his job.
Understood. So users, it's a extremely important point for you all to note that the onus of due diligence while buying a property lies on you and not on the sub-registrar. Am I right?
Yeah, you're on point.
So my last question, so concluding this podcast, so are we, by doing, I think there are a lot of technology that is getting introduced in the process of land administration. You know, there's Kaveri Online, which is managing the sub-registrar system.
Right.
The entire revenue land is being managed by a Bhumi system.
Right.
BBMP has introduced e-khata managing the mutation and khatas. So there's a lot of digital transformation that is happening across Karnataka.
Right.
With multiple systems.
Right.
So are we heading towards conclusive title regime?
Right. You're a very pertinent question according to me, because with technology intervention, the headache that a buyer has when he's buying a property will be reduced substantially, because you can always access these platforms and verify a lot of points that needs to be verified before buying a property. So we are heading towards that.
Okay.
We might be facing a bit of hiccups when it comes to these technology integrations, because from all the manual documentation to basically having a transfer of all of that information, we'll face a bit of problems. So I think, like you mentioned, there are other multiple platforms that are coming up.
Right.
So all of these platforms will be integrated, linked, and
can communicate with each other.
Right.
So the data transfer will be seamless, or the information transfer will be seamless.
Right. So one will be the ease of getting a property registered and being sure that you're getting the right property.
Right.
Right. So these two things will be covered with this technology integration, and I see the future being much easier and hassle free.
So technically, this would help me safeguard my title rights.
Right. That's right.
uses. So we are, as per Akshay, we are really heading towards a conclusive title system or regime wherein my property will always be my property. Thank you all for watching this podcast. We tried our best to address the Khata system, the sub-registrar, the process of mutation, etc. So if you have any further questions, please do drop a comment. We will have Akshay again addressing all of your queries in our next series of podcasts on the Karnataka land loss. Thank you so much. Please do like, subscribe, and keep watching. What is a khata?
One word answer would be khata is an account.
Technically, a BBMP or a concerning body have all of these details of the properties to collect the right tax.
So if they have specifics and only on those specifics, they'll be able to charge you.
Does khata prove the ownership of the property?
If I have to put it, Supreme Court, one of its landmark judgment said,
what the hell is this e-khata and b-khata?
2007 is when the khata got introduced as a mandate.
Okay.
Earlier, everything was just a khata. Then 2009,
government is trying to regularize the properties by introducing b-khata.
Cabinet has approved this provision wherein b-khata properties which are non-compliant.
How to transfer khata?
Khata transfer happens basically after the...
So, in your view, what reforms do you think would make the khata system user-friendly?
The whole e-khata system itself is a welcome reform.
What is the purpose of or the mandate of Sub-registrar?
Sub-registrar is basically an entity which is created under Registration Act. Okay. So that's an act.
What are the different kinds of transactions that occur when a transfer of rights happens?
Sub-registrar office can register a range of documents. This could include...
Is there one single format of GPA or...
It is customizable to your needs.
Properties title is registered, but mutation is stuck. It's not happening.